want to just say two things that I didn't say before, and that is that membership is not leadership. You might be on the board of directors of a museum, and the museum may have done incredible things in the time when you were on that board. But if it was not from your mind that it happens, don't mention it. It's unworthy. It has to come from you. You have to make the difference, not something that you paid a fee to belong to. It's got to be you. So if you get on a board, do something. Contribute something. Make a difference. Make them know that it was the architect's voice that made the difference. And lastly, think to the future and remember that you don't want to burn bridges. There are people you'll want to contact to write letters for you at the time that you submit for fellowship, and you want those letters to be able to reinforce everything that you and your sponsor and others will say about you. So be sure you sustain your relationships and sustain your list of contacts for those you want to get a hold of, that you can come back to and say, I think we did some good things together. Can you write a letter for me? When you get those letters, it's going to be important for you to get geographic diversity, not just from Los Angeles, not just from California. You have to show your reach. Gender and ethnic diversity would be of value. Career diversity would be of value. You'll want a client in there for sure, and maybe two, but you can't have more than that. So just strategize that. Think about it. Know the buttons you'll have to press, and make sure that you don't step on fingers along the way, because you're going to need those fingers to be pressing the send button for you downstream.
I'll give you an example of that. One of my younger partners he was laughing about an invitation he had to speak about lighting at the National Association of Home Builders in Omaha. And he was going to say no. He was laughing, like, what's the big deal? I said, no, do it, do it. You know, it'd be good for your F someday. National speaking. And so that I had the long picture because I'd been through it. I knew, so I'm kind of helping him through it. But you can't overlook opportunities that might help you with this in the long term. It might seem dumb in the short term, but anything national. Writing an article, having an article written about you and or your work, writing a book, writing a chapter in a book, having part of a book written about you and your projects, or speaking is invaluable. It's almost required.
And I would also add teaching. I mean, I've been in practice my entire life, but I've taken some time to teach part-time at a couple of the universities around town, architecture schools. And I think not only does that give something, but it's also a great experience for you to be with these kids and see their enthusiasm and try to help them along the way and get to be better students and architects. So I would really advocate for that if you can possibly do that.
I'll add maybe just one thing. I don't think anybody mentioned 10 years.
No.
All right, as you probably know, to become a fellow, you have to have had at least 10 years of membership to the AIA. Not continuous, 10 total. If you have 10 years, do yourself a favor, don't submit. If you have 10 years and you submit, they're going to look at you a little quicker, a little harder than if you have 11, 12, or 13. So I'd say if you have 10 years, wait till the 11th or 12th year, maybe the 13th year. Say, we'll certainly look, why is this person going up right after 10? Oh, come on, there are some big names who will do it, but we have to be careful. The second thing is, what's important is the recent 10 years. If you did something great 13 years ago and you didn't do something great from the last 5 years, we'd probably say, hold on till you do something else that's great. Raise something else that you've really affected somebody else. Because they're going to look at the last 10 years. What have you really done? So on the one hand, you want to make sure it's 11, 12, 13. On the other hand, you want to make sure the last 10 years are really important. Especially the last 3 or 4 years. They're going to look at it. And for those of you into design, they don't look very positively at projects. They look positively at completed projects. Unless there's, again, a ripple down effect. If you have a project and you won an international competition, that's important. You won something with it. But If you just have a great project you like that's gone nowhere, it doesn't mean anything to that. What has it accomplished? Where is the effect it's had on others? So again, it's quite often looking at accomplishments that actually have happened, not potential.